What a one, people. Welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show right here on the Black Fan Network Media for the 21st century. We actually made it. We get back on the show. We had a bit of a hitches, but we are excited that you are with us. And today we are looking forward to having an interesting and engaging show. My name is Spikes alongside my co-host Kate Nzomi.
Yes, I karibuni sana once again to the Rhythm Scoop Show. We had a bit of connectivity issues, but we hope that you are still here with us right here on the Black Fan Network Media for the 21st century. Remember, we are all about entertainment, art, and culture as you get to interact with us on our social media platforms. There is on Facebook at the Black Fan Network radio station, on Twitter at the Black Fan Network, and also on Instagram at the Black Fan Network as well. My name is Jovi alongside Kate.
Yes, karibuni sana to our show today. I hope you're doing amazing, and welcome to our show today. We're looking forward to have an amazing show.
We're also hoping that you shall engage with us on our social media platforms, like Zovi got to share with you. And of course, this afternoon we shall be talking about the common ground, all the unifying factors that bring people, African people, together right here on the continent and even globally. For me, when we talk about culture and how people get to coexist and how people get to live cohesively, you find that most of the time on the different platforms, people are always talking about the dividing factors. What divides us? People talk about ethnicity, people talk about religion, people talk about all these other things that get to divide us. But today we are here to discuss matters on what gets to connect us, or what is the common ground for African people, and that is our conversation for today. We shall be getting straight into it. I do believe one of the things that gets to connect people on the African continent is the love for music. One of the things that gets to really connect people on the African continent is really the love for music, and that is why on the Black Fan Network we purpose to give you the best music, because regardless of where you're coming from, I have actually heard music from West Africa. I think it's by what's the name of this lady who has done the song. It's called Oh Jaja. The artist Aya Nakamura. Yeah, Aya Nakamura. I can't really tell you what she's saying on her music, but as an African, I can jam to the beats, I can jam to the drums, and I can jam to the vibe that is in this particular music. So once you will find people coming from different parts of the continent, it might be South African. People in South Africa right now are jamming to Amapiano, and therefore if you listen to them playing the Amapiano music, for me, once again, I cannot really tell what they are saying, the Amapiano music, but as an African, I can still get relate as well.
I relate a little bit personally with Amapiano, because South Africans, that they know a bit of Swahili, or I don't know if they are learning or they have grown up.
I hope they are learning. There was a memorandum signed between the government of Kenya and the government of South Africa, so that we can have some people going to South Africa to teach South Africans Swahili. Yeah. So I can say personally, I relate with a little bit of South African language, because it's somehow direct translation to me. That is to me. Yeah, because I love learning other languages, or rather, I'm interested in learning other African languages. Personally, I did make an attempt to learn Kinyarwanda. When we were in Rwanda, I was making an attempt to learn a bit of Kinyarwanda, and I think some of the things I haven't forgotten is money. They call it Amafaranga, and every other time you will find people talking about Amafaranga, and you're wondering what that is. I happen to realize that is money. But yes, I do believe one of the things that I can connect us as a people, and one of the useful tools that I should actually be used, is music. The power of music has been underrated by different people. You find people saying, "No, music is just music. You just go to the club and dance, or you just at your house and relax in some music." But I believe music can be able to bring us back together as a people. And so when you do have record labels, really just not focusing on a real music, that would be a destructive force. But if we embrace music as a unifying factor, then I do believe we would be someplace better than we are right now, because there is a lot of a lack of understanding. There is a lot of lack of even love amongst African people, simply because of the misunderstanding that has come up because of various factors that we shall not be discussing today. Today we are only purposing to discuss on the matter of what brings us together. You can engage with us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter, and we are asking an important question: what can be used to bring Africans together? Or what is a common ground? What can be a unifying factor for Africans, not just on the continent, but even globally? We shall be having that conversation right after this short music break, and when we get back, we are hoping that you can also engage with us and let us know what do you think can be some of the main unifying factors for us as a people on the African continent, and even as Africans outside the continent. This is
hustle.
Purchase your tracks
You got one life, so live it with love. Say no life ain't easy, but live it with God. So like give thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, like thanks to God Almighty. Bad man no free stop. Everyday trouble going crazy. Bad man them feeling mighty. But I give thanks to God Almighty. I give thanks to God Almighty. Man no living fair. Now them disappear. Cause I remember when they say man no go become nothing. Them say man no go become nothing. I say me I no become something. I say me I no become something. All out who I need munje. 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 Like thanks to God Almighty. Thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, so like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty. See every day, man the ginger all day, man the hustle all day, yeah paper all day. All of me, motivo, con the arts machine a lotto, where you con they get the moto, all the girls that done the photo. Going on my way, got nothing else to say. Good girl shining on me, good girl shining on me. All out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje. Thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty. So like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, Almighty.
Let it shine on me. Oh shit.
All out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje.
Purchase your tracks today.
All out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje, all out who I need munje.
Yes, and we are back right here on the Rhythm Scoop Show on the Black Hot Network Media for the 21st century. Hope you are vibrating positively on this particular day, it being the 29th of September. Of course, we have a day to say bye-bye to September, hoping that you have achieved whatever you had particularly set to achieve this particular month. I always say each and every time that set some goals for yourself or some challenge for yourself, because at the end of the day, I do believe if you are focusing on positive things, that is what you're going to achieve and manifest and affirm. But nonetheless, Caribbean listeners, as we said, we are live and interactive on our social media handles, on Facebook at the Black Hot Fire Network Radio Station, on Twitter at the Black Hot Fire Network as well, and also on Instagram. And we are discussing, rather having an amazing conversation on matters of how we can bring Africans together, because we keep on discussing things that have been dividing us for so long as Africans. But it's a high time also for once we come up with solutions that that some of the things that can unite us as Africans. And of course, Pikes has mentioned about music, and I can relate with music and to dance for me.
I couldn't even tell what Wolf was saying on the track. He said Olu.
I know, right?
It's just jamming. I can't really tell what he was saying, but I know Olua is sounds to do with chords. So
yeah, definitely. The languages might be a little bit, maybe hard for us to understand each other and everything. But if we could maybe symbolize or maybe make Swahili one of the a national, African language, it will be something really great. But of course, relating with music, I think also to me one of the things that unites us together, or one of the things can unite us together, is also dances. We know that way back, in forms of traditional methods.
What about those who don't dance, like myself?
Reminds me here. Just shake, even if it's your head or your fingers, just like this.
Shaking, it's all good,
yeah. But I think dances is one of the ways that also unites, is a way that can unite us as Africans, and also as united us as Africans. Because when you relate to, rather you speaking of Amapiano or other South Africans, still going to South Africa, I think South Africans have the biggest energy, same as Kenyans. I'm not saying that Africa at large, they don't have big energy.
What of Nigerians?
Of course, I'm saying Africans at large. We have in the likes of South Africa, we have Kenya, like those nations or countries that they are at the top is when it comes to matters of partying and dancing and turning up. I think that Africans can unite when it comes to dancing, because when I relate with Amapiano and how it is really selling like the whole continent, not only in South Africa, it is being played in Tanzania. We've seen Diamond also trying Amapiano. We've seen some Kenyans trying to sing Amapiano. We don't know about Zambians, maybe they may come up, Rwandans, Burundi, Ugandans. Dances is one of the ways that I think also unite us, because if you find me vibing to Amapiano or maybe some traditional dances, you know, be it from the Luya or maybe from Uganda, there's just how you vibe along and you like, you know, just give me space and let me do my thing.
And I also do believe another important critical thing that would really bring us together is a knowledge of our history. You know, there's a lot of our people do not know anything to do with Africa, anything to do with African history, and some people might blame it on the education system in Africa, but that is on you. It's upon you to go out and search for your African history, because Joby was talking about people getting interested in back their roots, but there is a disconnect between what is happening right now and what was happening in the past. That bridge can be connected, can be bridged using the education for history. People need to go back and learn a bit of what was happening in the ancient times, and because that way we would be able to know where we have come from, because different communities have come up and they thought, if you go back, for example, you have the Maasais, the Rendilas, the Boranas, the Samburus. You might realize that at some point that was just one community, and then they broke apart into small groups and one.
Because I think they have same African cultures, like actually similar cultures when it comes to the matters of dressing. Also dressing, the way they conduct the initiation ceremonies and things like that. Exactly. When it comes to cattle herding or maybe in terms of crops and everything. Agriculture, I think they relate, but it is the division, of course, we've seen in the system of education and also the mentality, how we've been made to fix our mentality and act like, you know, we don't need to come up together, or rather you belong to this particular kind of culture, or you're a Luya, you're a Luo, so that divides us, but we need to come back together.
And how do you see, so you are with us on the broadcast, you were saying, is this gospel? No, the brother is really just on a vibe. That is not gospel music, but he is actually on a vibe. So you're saying, thank you, white Jesus Lord. No, let me listen to that particular song. Listen to that particular song really, really nicely. And I know the brother, and I know the brother, but he is not with that Jesus nonsense. Listen to the song very, very closely. He is a brother with a soulful vibe to his music. We shall be playing a little bit more of his songs. We have hosted him sometimes here on the Black Hot Fire Network, and he is representing for Nigeria. Zero Mosquito says, praise the Lord. Zero Mosquito might as well run a church in the UK. And
I don't know Mosquito.
So you said Kid used to be a backup dancer for Rick James. I would try imagine. That's a funny one. That's a really, really funny one. But I was just saying that the brother is on some wonderful vibes, and we hope at some point we can be able to also share his music, and also hope that you can also get to enjoy that a little bit of it as well. This is a Black Hot Fire Network media for the 21st century, and at the end of the day, we do hope that you are able to connect with us in a wonderful, wonderful way, and also give us your feedback. We shall go back to the music, and when we come back, Zoe and General Mosquito, please do let us know what can connect us as a people. This is the Black Hot Fire Network media for the 21st century, and this is a Rhythm Scoop Show. The name of this next jam is Inhale, and it's also by Lexa Wolf from all the way Lagos.
Light it up, inhale the good and exhale the bad. I'm gonna roll it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I wanna roll it up and light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. Na na na. Find over magic. You can be anything you dream. Cause when you feel it come, when you think and when you learn, and you can fly high. And I'm a star. You know like asking you want to start. You got only stuff to go far. So what you could have different? Do you think you are? I told him I'm a star. I told him I was blessed. I told him that old man I'm on the ready star. I told him you test. I told him you success. I told him we got all we need to go far. The pain that I chest, I feel like heavy stress. But maybe that's the push we need to go far. It's a marathon, not to race that we are racing. We got all we need to win, now we relating. But I wanna roll it up and light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I wanna roll it up and light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I wanna roll it up and light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. I wanna roll it up and light it up. Inhale the good and exhale the bad. Na na na. We all like it now, we all like it now. We all like it now, we all like it now. We all like it now, we all like it now. We all like it now, we all like it now.
Yeah, and we are all about radiating positive vibes, and we hope that you are actually enjoying the music. And I do see Zero Mosquito and I saying, Spikes, I love this song. Exactly, he says, I want to roll it up and light it up, and you actually have to be inhaling the good vibes.
This is one of the jams that I know is General Mosquito's favorite.
I don't know about Zero Mosquito. He says I'm the one that likes. He says that I'm the one that likes his jam. But Zero Mosquito, the test goes back to you. What do you think are the unifying factors for Africans, and what can unite us as an African people on the continent and even globally? I was just talking about the learning of the history about ourselves, because if we do not know where we are coming from, then we might not even be able to know where we are headed. And in that regard, I do believe people should take it upon themselves, a personal responsibility. You cannot say my school has not taught me this. Go on.
I was saying before we had the hit to the connectivity, that you did get to ask me a question. How is it that when you look at the people who found themselves in the diaspora as black people, and they want to trace back to Africa, or maybe they do not really know, what goes
much
on
about
in
Africa.
Yeah, much more about Africa. For you, I said as an individual, you have to look at yourself whereby you are an African person surrounded by white people, right? Then you get back to history. Now you get to ask yourself, where does black people really relate? Like, where do they originate? You come and find that it is in Africa. Now you go back to the history, go back to the cultures, and that is how you trace back to everything. Because I did get to bump into a quote, and we had the connectivity issues. I was saying that I bumped into a quote whereby it was saying we need to pass the knowledge that we are acquiring right now, because most of us have learned most of the things at a late, like quite late, really late, like after the system of education has really tampered with us, messed with us, and everything that we've grown up being told our ancestors were bad and stuff. But I was saying, it is saying that you should be able to translate the knowledge that you have right now, or whatever you have learned, to the younger generation before it is too late.
For them, because it's too late. Because people are actually sort of their mind, they are indoctrinated when they are very, very young, and that is why you will find people moving away from those parts where your mind has already been put in shackles and also subjected to these inferiority complex, because that is what is on the African continent affecting many minds. But I agree with you, so you are also saying that Spikes, too many times we are as a people focus on the differences versus the similarities. Understanding globally we have the same enemy will unify us. Also intermarriage among us, the diaspora would also also connect as a people. I agree with that, but that is also a challenge. If you ask many people on for example, go to a circle of guys like myself, and engage them, would you really sort of hook up, or not really hook up, but would you really sort of marry an African American lady from this or that other part? You might give them an example from Jersey, from Chicago, from not even a mulatto. I'm just talking an African American who is black, a complete black. And when you ask them, there might be some hesitancy, because they might think these ladies are way too not hot-tempered and not. But there's not, like, they are not cultured the African way. They are not really cultured you would compare a Ugandan woman and a woman from maybe the States, a black woman maybe from New York, or a black woman from these are different places. It might be different, but I do believe, yes, we might get there where people will focus on also intermarrying amongst the diaspora, and also, you know, connecting, bridging that gap that is existing right now, because marriage is a strong tool. It has been used, not even a tool, but it has been used to connect people even across political divide. If there was this particular group fighting this other group, you might find people, you know, being unified by the marriage of one person from this side, and then you know, another marriage from this particular side. But I agree with you, and I know what you are saying. So these are some ways in which you can get to bridge the divide, because people won't talk about similarities. People also want to talk about the differences, but at the end of the day, we also have
I
to
think
focus
it's
on
the same. I can relate. I'm trying to relate at it like this, whereby I think people from Nairobi, let me just say people from the city, when you're trying to marry someone from the city, and you kind of like maybe you've grown in the village,
it might be a bit difficult.
Yeah, with the African culture. Then you take them to, you take the girl, you know, you take the girl to the parents and everything. She might act all sassy and bougie, so you know, people are gonna be like, you know, why did you have to bring us a city girl?
Why wouldn't you have taken a girl from the village? Why did you bring this woman from the city? She's acting like this, you know, the way. Let me even talk about the way she's cultured is different. You know, the culture is different, and therefore you might have a bit of a culture shock.
She got her nails on, she got her hair done, her lashes.
There's nothing wrong with having the nails done and everything done, but there might be a problem with that. Yes, marriage can be used to sort of bridge the gap which you have with the diaspora, and also the diaspora, and also even people on the continent. You find people talking about tribalism and not even want to marry from another tribe. You have had maybe someone from the Igbo community not to want you to marry someone from the Yoruba, and these are the same Nigerian people. You are both Nigerians, and for example, Maasai and maybe the Luo here, they do not want to intermarry like that, and this is the kind of a difference that people want to focus on rather than focusing on the solutions.
I believe in some other cultures, like some culture from different people, they also have these beliefs or traditions where you're not supposed to intermarry from outside your clan. So you actually get the point. So you're asking, would Kenyan women be hesitant to marry an African American man? They might be, I'm not sure, but they will speak for themselves. They might be hesitant because, like you're saying, you hear someone, it's like marrying from the village and from the city. That might be the kind of comparison that Joby was giving.
Okay, being honest, like just being realistic with life, you need someone who's gonna match your energy, someone who is your type and everything. It's not like we are judging other men despite them being Africans, but you need someone who's going to match your energy, because everyone has his own craziness. Personally, I have my own vibe at the highest, so I wouldn't want someone who has the lowest vibe. You know, like
it doesn't matter. You're saying so long as they are black, that would be good. So long as they are black, doesn't matter whether they come from a black from Canada, whether they come from a black, they are black,
but not from Tanzania. I'm not judging. I'm not from Tanzania.
Why then? But anyway, we'll not get into that.
Was it going to get personal?
No, it's not. That's not personal.
Anyhow, we shall be taking a short music break. This is live by the same artist. Today we have a bit of music by Lexer. This is Black.
My father used to tell me keep your head high, so I roll the blunt and I'ma light it up. Always see the people with the fake smile, but behind your back I say so I'm a ball. Me I live my life, I know they waste time. If you got a problem, I got back and go. I ain't gotta worry about the fake lies or the fake lies. Sometimes I wanna quit it, sometimes I wanna cry. When me or die, it bring tears to my eyes. But then it make me think it, life money come twice. So I'm gonna leave, spread my wings, I can fly. And if you want, make a better life. And if you want, make a better life. You just need the man above and the man inside. You just need the man above and the man inside. And if you want, make a better life. And if you want, make a better life. You just need the man above and the man inside. You just need the man above and the man inside. Tears cry, lesson learned. Gotta keep it moving, that's the only way. You try, put it blame. When you say you gotta give it up your way. People talk, I know the same. I've been demanding, I know they drop away. They say what they wanna say, what they wanna say. Sometimes I feel conflicted, sometimes I wonder why. Life is so high, but I know I gotta try. Then they make me think it, life know they come twice. So I'm gonna leave, spread my wings, I can fly. And
I do think that there is only one person that was left out on that particular song, and that was the man on the mirror. And because Michael Jackson used to sing about the man on the mirror, and I'm talking to the man on the mirror, I think it's the same vibe that is on this jam. So would Kenyan women be hesitant to marry an African American man? There would be some hesitance. It's like with Nigerians. I have asked a couple of Kenyan ladies, would you get with a Nigerian man? And they always keep on saying, well, I'm not sure. What you have heard about Nigerian men is this and that. What we have heard about Nigerian men, they all these are the different stories that people come up with about Nigerian people. There are some stereotypes that have been put up about Nigerian. And if you are small-minded, you might actually just generalize and say Nigerian men are like this or Nigerian women are like this. That is why I would not marry any of them. But yes, there is a difference in culture, and that might be the cause for the hesitancy. But that is according to my own thinking. Maybe I might be wrong, but we also do have Kate and Jody here to also engage us.
I believe conducting games and sport can also be used to unify Africans, because when you conduct games and sports among the African countries, you bring people together and you make them unite. They are trying to interact through games. They are trying to compete as well as at the same time they are trying to compete. You're bringing them together. They are coming together, and they are
realizing they are one and the same.
So I believe conducting games and sports can also be used to unify Africans.
I've seen people, athletes are from Uganda, and also athletes are from Kenya and Ethiopia. When they go to these sports events, they are able to come together and discuss matters. Regardless of whether you're competing against each other, there is some level of, it's a platform for people to connect. Even in that regard, which is a wonderful thing. Yes, I agree with you, Kate. I think maybe sports and sports can also bring people together as African. The only thing you will find out, even with these sports, people also want sports that are showing the European. For example, in Africa, you'll find a lot of people following up with what is happening with the European Champions League, and when they come to supporting their own local sports, you will not find them being big on that. People who want to support anything else that is coming from the outside. But we go back to the same matter of the brainwash, and also the indoctrination that everything that is coming from the West is good or it's better than what you have right here on the African continent. General Mosquito, if you are still with us, also give us your input on what can be the unifying factor or the common ground for Africans.
For me, I think I'll add on still going back to the cultures, because we have talked about Maasai and the Samburus and the Marsabit like being divided. But when you conduct or rather connect the dots, they still have the same
from the same place.
Yeah, they still have the same routine, So Africans, I think one of the things can also unite us, and of which I've also seen like the Europeans also trying. Within the matters of dressing code, let's take for example, like for the dress I am wearing, we've know this.
It's about fashion and style.
Yeah, fashion and style. Like the way I'm dressing up like this, these are Dera, and we've seen most of this. We have acquired most of this from the Somali, which are part of the African country. So I think dressing codes is also one of the things. And also we've seen Maasai. We did get to see Diamond going to the BET Awards wearing a Maasai dress, a Maasai code, which simply, when you go anywhere with a Maasai, just culture, you literally know you are from the Africa, because that is one of the most unique things that we have. So I think also dressing code is one of the things that unifies us.
I remember some years back in 1970s, there was a president of the DRC Congo. He had actually told people that they would be wearing a national uniform. I do not know. Also, Zoe is also disagreeing with us. Zoe says games like a track and field greatly divide Black Americans and Jamaicans. People want to see themselves as different. I know when it comes to the Olympics, and the Jamaicans take it, for example, the 100 meters with Usain Bolt, and also the American counterparts who are also trying to contest the same. There is a lot of a divide that might come up with that as well. I understand what you're saying, but they can be used for cohesion. These games and sports can be used for cohesion, and I think they will be used as a platform, because every other kind of an arena we might find where people just get to connect and find out, we are just the same, and therefore there is no need for us to be, to see ourselves as different and be involved in these divisive matters. But nonetheless, I also do believe that yes, what Joby is saying, that fashion can be used to unite people. I do not know. I do not see Zoe rocking an African shirt, or even a General Mosquito. I do not see them rocking an Ankara shirt. I do not see them. Some people think they are goofy. Some people think they are goofy. Some people think this is trying to make yourself more African than everyone else. That is what people think. You know, when you wear those particular clothes, people think, oh, this guy thinks now he's more African
Let me tell
than
you
the rest of
something.
the other
One
Africans.
thing that I know about the African, fashion and style is one of the most expensive. Leave alone the Gucci, the Chanel, and everything. The label, trying to label everything. But I think our fashion, or other African fashion and style, is one of the expensive. When you look at the matters of Ankara, have you tried to go shop a hoodie which is Ankara?
It's expensive.
Or maybe some shoes, maybe some necklaces which are made from the beads, by the Maasai. Just even an anklet like this one. This goes by, let me say, $5.5.
Probably,
50
yeah,
shillings.
550,
Kenyan
yeah,
shillings,
$5.5.
which is quite costly. There is a whole skuma wiki in your house and such stuff. So I think, to me, fashion and style really wins it all.
It might work for some individuals, but some people don't want even to be stylish like that. People just want to be easygoing. They say, oh, umevalia kitenge now, naona you're more African than the other Africans, or something like that. But yes, I do believe we do have many platforms and opportunities in which we can be able to embrace our Africanacity, I might call it so, and be proud about being African, and also be one who, be connected, be more connected, using these common grounds. If you're talking about sports, might be a common ground. Music and fashion might be a common ground.
Dancing.
And we also, dancing might also be a common ground.
Even food. I think food also.
Food also brings people together.
Food does, because personally I can still generate with the African continent. I don't know if you've ever liked to try
Jollof.
Nigerian food. I want to try Nigerian food so hard, and I also want to try. I've tried Ugandan food.
But there are Nigerian restaurants around Nairobi. I think some of them are in Lavington. There's another one.
I haven't tried any, but I'd love to. I've tried, I think most of us will try the staple food of Uganda, which is matoke, and maybe some peanuts.
I have seen a comment.
That is the thing. And in Kenya we have ugali, which can keep the spices so much. But